House of Lords. It appears that we're still waiting for some other people. But how you doing, people? I tell you, I'm one of three. I wonder if you know who we are. Hey, Yanni, have you come to your mic? No, clearly not. I don't know what. Yanni!
Oi, what's going on? Hello, mate. I've got a cat here. I can hear somebody shouting off in the distance.
Yeah, are you there, mate? Are you there?
Let me tell that. Alright, buddy. You rested? Good man. Right, hello, gentlemen. What's going on?
I don't know where the other one is, mate.
Oh, yeah, I've got there's somebody.
There is. It seems that way. Hang on, let me see if I can give him a shout. Nah, he ain't heard me. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, he'll have heard that.
He's got to have heard that. Hang on, this might get his attention. It might do.
Oh, yes.
No, he's got to be turning up soon. You know, this is his jam.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Let's see if he comes. Let's see if he comes to that one.
I think that one will work.
It's got to work.
Oh, yeah. It's got it. All that heritage. There you go.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Stop bluffing. Every time I try to log in 20 times, honestly, it's just annoying.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you're here, Marius.
Thank you.
Did you feel compelled to get here? Did you feel like somebody was calling you in the ether?
Yeah, I felt like someone was actually saying something very... Anyway.
Wow, brilliant.
Right, so here we are at the House of Lords. As I opened up and I said hello, I go by the name of Carl, and we've got the Right Honourable Yanni, and obviously our good learned friend and Right Honourable Marius.
Hello.
And what we're going to be discussing this week is maybe part 2 of the older Are There, Aren't They? Aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know what direction it's going to go in this evening. You might not even believe in aliens because you might be like science for a particular orthodox religion, and it's like it's all the word of God and nothing but God. So help you, God, and all the rest of it. I'm trying to both come into my ear, things come into my
I felt like saying Omnibus Padre.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah, well, yeah. Tis what it is. Tis what it is. Speaking of that crowd, though, they've got their own telescope.
Have they?
Yeah, they've got their own telescope. It's called Lucifer.
Oh, no.
I'm not joking. The Vatican have their own deep space telescope, one of the most sophisticated in the world.
Called Lucifer. Check it out.
There you go. Go have a quick look. That's interesting.
It's in the name.
Why would they call it Lucifer?
It's in the name, boss. It's in the name. Come on.
I don't know why. Don't take my word for it. Yeah, don't take my word for it. Look at it.
Or maybe it's because it represents perfection. Who knows?
Oh, pray tell, Iani, make that one make sense.
Oh, yeah. You don't know that?
Lucifer, well, I've come to understand it, the light bearer, etc., made him perfect in everything and everything else, but he come down and saw that he should have his own rights and play it, and so on and so forth. Right? Cast out of heaven and turned into the oogly boogly. But apparently he's the light bearer, the light body. It's interesting, isn't it?
Right, isn't it?
I heard that he was friends with Vlad the Impaler. For some reason.
I think that was Prince Charles's great something. It was.
Yeah,
I don't know why you're laughing. Right, you can go on Tinternet, right? Go online, go and have a look, right? Put your big boy pants on and have a look. And there's footage of Prince Charles standing there in front of a picture of Vlad the Impaler, and he's like saying, yes, you can date my family lineage right back to Vlad the Impaler. Yeah. That's what he does. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. But you know what the saying is, believe half of what you hear and none of what you see. Yeah.
Well, if there's anything that I can say, I know that he goes to Romania quite often because he goes often because he has a few properties over there.
He likes blood.
Yeah.
Adrenochrome. From the WEF.
Look what you're doing. Really? Do we have to do that?
Well, the first visit that he ever made after he was made king is Romania.
Really?
Yeah, that was his first visit.
What happened?
I haven't followed. I don't follow that kind of story. But...
No?
Nah.
You don't want to know why the chief lizard wants to go to Romania? I'd ask questions.
This is not. We're not joking.
We're not even joking.
Chief lizard. That was a good one.
Well, apparently, excuse me.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. The non's brother is higher ranking in excuse me, the close circles than old Charlie boy.
Careful what you say. You see, you already start choking, so be careful.
A big scaly pecker. Whatever. It is what it is, They don't care what you say, it's what you can prove. That's what they really care about. What you can prove.
Yeah, but haven't they changed that now?
Well,
when you look off.
Yeah. Excuse me, I just coughed in people's ear.
Whether it fits in a certain space or if it's not in that space, doesn't matter. Those are the new rules.
But I've never been one for following the rules, really.
How many? Back in the day, UK was like 50-50, 55% not following the rules. So, it's always had that heritage. What's changed and things pacified out a little bit over there since I've been gone. Is that what's going?
That's kind of what's changed. Yeah. Who's coughing?
You.
Put your hand over your mouth, mate. It's terrible.
Bad, I know. You sound rough.
You too, mate. It's all
COVID?
that. Nah.
Okay. I'm just checking.
No, it's not. Certainly not COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Does begin with C, though. Does begin with C.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah.
The cannabis virus or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cannabis virus. There we go. We'll run with that one.
Yeah. The cannabis virus. Yeah. Cannabis virus.
Yeah. It's a new strain. It's a new strain. It's a new strain. The cannabis virus. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
You just probably gave someone an idea right now.
Well,
that idea's out there. Go on.
If we did, consider a 10% royalty for the home for the House of, for the House of Lords. Just 10% royalty. We don't care about the rest of it. Make money. Yeah, what's money? But 10% royalty. Keep us in. And then and a delivery every so often of your finest crop, and we'll say no more about it. We you know what I mean? Got you covered.
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Make your generational wealth. I remember we sat here and told you, there you go, all yours. Yeah.
Amazing. Gifts.
You get, you know what I mean? Gifts. We're just giving gifts all the time.
Just giving. That's what we do here at the House of Lords. We just give.
That's what we do. That's what it's about. And not give back, because we didn't take it off you in the first place. Sorry. I had to drop that one. I'm not sorry. I had to drop that one in there, mate. Do you know what I mean? Give back. Nah, come on, man.
So we were running.
And is it?
We're running nicely into aliens, right? Speaking about said bloodlines, royals, and everything else. And obviously, we had to put a disclaimer out there, allegedly, right? And there are rules here in the UK that are governing what you can and can't say and all the rest of that jazz, right? So don't go round repeating the stuff that we said, but certainly show your friends the links to the podcast, right? Stick it on your social media and everything else.
Exactly. And
subscribe and let us say what should be said, right? Because we'll say
subscribe and like.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before you say that, subscribe and like. Yeah. Do me a favor before you continue on. Subscribe and a like, and then, like you said, tell your friends. Go then, keep going. What was you saying?
Subscribe and like.
Thank you. There you go. Do you know what I mean? We're cool.
Let us be your fantasy.
Yes. Let us be that. No. Let us not be that. This is how we get in trouble, mate. You know, fact, because he opened his mouth on the thing, didn't he? Bloody hell.
Well, it's got to be done, isn't it? It's got to be done. The only way that you can use free speech, right, is by using free speech. Right, you got to use it or you lose it.
Otherwise, you lose it. Here you go. We know that one.
Yeah, you got to use it, baby. You can't say that I can watch twat. Right? You got to be able to say it. You know, you can say I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian in training, and I'm practicing my craft. So fuck it.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to see where this is going.
Does it have to go anywhere, Marius? What comes up? Does it have to go anywhere?
Well, it depends what's pinned on the board. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're nowhere near that yet. We're nowhere near that.
Exactly.
Hang on, let's. I'm not going down this road with you. Right. Where's it gone now?
Where's who gone?
The app that we're in. Oh, there you are. Right. Yeah, no, we're nowhere near yet. We're nowhere near yet.
Lost within yourself there, mate.
I was lost in myself going through the gadgets. I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't find a groovy piece of intro. I was waiting for the good viewers out there actually to see if we get any feedback on the question last time, you know, about some intro music and some funky stuff.
Oh, right. Who knows? I haven't seen anything back from anybody yet, but you know what? That's all right. Just go with it.
I'll think of something. So what were we talking about? Anyway, we're talking about aliens, didn't we? What comes up? Hey, these aliens. Did we talk about the other night, about the distraction? Did we talk about that last week?
No, we didn't talk about the distraction. I don't think we did.
Yeah, the big funk. Excuse me. Ooh.
There you go.
I needed that.
Natural. It's
the
natural,
spirits, the spirits needed to come out. Yeah,
that's real life. Real life.
Is that methane?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be.
Are you gonna be doxed for that?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna have to pay me carbon footprint.
So
I'm gonna have to pay an extra £2 for burping.
So wait a minute. So you're not allowed to burp anymore because. But wait a minute. If you're drinking, here's the thing. If you're drinking a soda is infused with carbon dioxide. So you drink that down. That goes into your stomach. The carbon dioxide is a gas. It wants to make its way back up again. You're not going to really be taking up methane. Methane normally comes out the other end after it's passed over them hot coals we know as turds, right? But normally when it comes to a burp, that's just like if you're drinking a soda, boom, that's the carbon dioxide coming back. Right now, if there's a chemical reaction that's changing place and the carbon dioxide is turned into methane as it comes out of your mouth, you should be able to then get a struck match and blow a bit of a flame out. Now, if you can't do that, then clearly we're not talking about methane. We're talking about carbon dioxide. Just a little observation, ladies and gentlemen. You any lovely gentlemen, please. You see? Just saying.
You know, for some reason, this scenario came to my mind. It's like the guy goes and he wants to buy some meat, and it's like, no, you are over the limit of CO2. And he's like, well, I haven't eaten any meat this month. No, but you did drink 2 bowls of Pepsi this month, which adds up to so and so. So you are over the limit. You have to pay extra if you want a piece of meat. I think they can use that.
I think, yeah.
Pay who? I know who. Don't get me wrong. right? But no, I'm not paying you nothing. I'm not paying you nothing. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just not willingly anyway. Certainly not. That's just my stance on it. You know, I don't believe with 90% of what they're doing at the minute, right? This is the government here and a lot of governments globally, right? I don't favour what you're doing. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like how you bullshit people, lie to people, poison people, kill people, genocide people, and suicide people on just to cover up your own lying bastard murderous hands. Right, so I'm not giving you no money. Fuck you. I'm certainly not going to toe the line on what I can and can't say. Fuck you again. In a loving, lightest way, you know. I'm just not playing your game. And if it is a game, right, where you're going, right, these are the rules, right? I'm in a position where I'm going, well, I ain't playing by them rules. I'm going to play them this way. Because it's fun. Yeah, to me it's fun. It's fun. It just makes it a bit more fun.
Yep. No. It's, just look, at the end of the day, if you hoodwink people into a game, then when you finally people say, oh, they will play your game, you go and change the rules at the last minute as soon as you lose. As soon as you're losing, fucking go and change. Oh, no, you know that kid, that annoying kid. As soon as you're losing, no. It's like just take your hobbing like a fucking child, like we're supposed to. No, man wants to pick up his goals and go. Pick up the ball. No, it's my ball. I'm going. What? Because you're losing. What? They put the thing back. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, I'm changing the words. I'm changing the words of things. No, hang on a minute, right? The legal definition of what you've done, right, is this. I know you've changed the legal definition to suit what it is that you've done. Oh, right, now you're trying to legalise all of these nasty, nefarious child molestation frigging crap, right? So half of yous, when it comes out, didn't actually commit a crime.
Yep.
They're sick.
Yep, I mean, come on.
Sick. I'm not playing your game. No, you're a dirty tyrant, Peter. I'm not playing your game.
Come on. I mean, come on.
And that's just the humans. That's just the humans.
Yeah.
How many of the people that are actually in prison right now of a criminal offense are only there because this kind of rules are actually been made by someone that, you know, has to fill these prisons with these criminals?
I mean, the thing about it, it's a bit of an interesting one, man. It's like, you know, look. The question has to be asked, yeah? If you have this happening on a relentless pace, you have goals that are being met, bottom lines that are being met, money is being exchanged in exchange for lives pulled out of the system, lives are persuaded to be an anti to the system, so that way you become perfect fodder to go into that. I mean, it's a solid regular. Oh, hang on, make sure the cat's not. It's a solid regular thing. I mean, it's a solid regular. And you got to say to yourself, why? Why, you know, what, you know, is it literally just the money, or is it part of a tool used in the long run? Is it part of the tool used in the long run? I stand up and take a look and see whether that's the boat flying by the ship. Probably is. There's a There's a ship that yeah, there it is. There's a cruise ship that comes past my house every Sunday and Thursday or something to come in and to dock, and I can hear the DJ, come on now, and do, and people are standing on the railings and stuff. Normally I sort of, you know, I get my binoculars out, wave at them, say hello, you know, flash them. You know, see whether I get a response, and look and see whether somebody points. And if I do, they've got binoculars, I've got binoculars, and I'm saying, yeah, love, yeah, get away from him. Yeah, come over. jump off, I'll catch you.
Come and have some of my big apple.
jump off. I've got a dinghy right here. I live right here. Come on. You'll be right.
Oh, come and have some of the American dream. Anyway, where were we anyway before we were so rudely distracted?
Sorry. I'm sorry. The reality of it all. We were. We were actually had gone to the point of we were.
I think I was berating the royal families and calling them scaly paedophiles, reptiles, allegedly.
I think we were trying to get. Yeah, we were trying to get back on track to the. So you went off-roaded for a while.
Well, we were talking about aliens, didn't we?
Yeah, I was trying to get back there. I was trying to get back on the road of aliens, to the point of where it's like, so the public now, when they really think for a minute, and they say to themselves, well, if we say to ourselves, look at the different manifestations that we have conjured up as a consciousness. So, for example, the various movies that take us to these places that really make us believe, make us see, make it something that's plausible, right? All of those, because that's what this imagery is, right? The magic light and film images, isn't that what their goal is? Isn't that to make it plausible, to make it believable, to bring something that wasn't, to actually embed it in our minds? It almost to become like a full memory. If it wasn't for the fact that you and your mates were eating popcorn and there was a nice girl sitting over there that you kind of liked, you ended up sitting next to her whilst you watched the rest of the movie. It was quite cool. But aside from those little bits and pieces, the imagery, or you go in for the whole VR experience, or the eye wrap around experience, and then the next thing you know, now you're watching the Na'vi, as they do their thing, and you feel like you're right there. Yeah. So it's aside from that, it's this is what they do. So the reality of it feels as if it feels real. So the question is, has the public got to a stage where they're malleable enough, whether they're open-minded enough to even consider the possibility?
It's all so quiet.
We're hunting Elmers.
That's it. I was actually in the background there looking for a piece of music for a segment, but I can't remember.
Why is he in the background? He should be at the forefront, shouldn't he, Marius?
Well, you're absolutely
Makes
right.
sense.
Oh, Marius, that conversation we were having the other day, right, where we were doing some back and forth, and you said, well, that's the difference between knowing and believing, isn't it? Fabulous point. Yeah, I heard that back the other day. I was like, oh, yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing. We always remove belief and believing, because there's a room for doubt, hesitation, and steering off, as opposed to knowing, where for that you walk with confidence. You walk with a surety.
I'm still stuck in the background here, trying to mess about and trying to find a piece of music for this segment. That's all I was doing. So where were we anyway? So
we like that. Keep doing that, mate. We like that. Oh, look at that, burns white. Nice.
the distraction. That's what we was on. The distraction. Where was it? Miami or Florida or wherever it was? The precinct that had over 100 police cars and all the rest of it.
Wasn't that in Miami somewhere?
Is that what it was?
Was it Marius? I think so.
The reason why I call it a distraction, right? Because it's just ironic. It's just ironic, isn't it? When there's massive data dump of information of all the nonsense, right, that went to Epstein Island on a regular basis. And then people's like, right, that's it. Yeah, you're gonna get cancelled. We're all gonna go to prison. And all these sort of like celebrities went, turn around to their legal team and went, what do you think? And they went, no, it's just shitty speculative. You won't be able to prove there's nothing to get you into jail there just by your name being on like a manifesto type thing. Oh, excellent. Well, you know, people are going to block you, right? They're going to ban you. They're going to stop going to your movies. And no, they won't. Here, look, here's some aliens at a shopping centre. And then what was the talk for 3 or 4 days? Aliens. Where's all the nonsense gone?
Right.
Well, they only visited Miami a little bit because it's warm.
How about the lizard tunnels underneath, where hundreds of thousands of children disappear all the time and nobody knows where they go? Where do they go? Do they end up in the bellies of dirty lizards?
You're going down to the tunnels of the Disneyland as well.
Yeah, why not? We're there. We're talking about it. You know, this is the House of Rights, right? We're talking about it. Well, let's talk about all the tunnel networks that basically span the globe that are trafficking children and people left, right, and centre to be treated as God knows what, allegedly.
Allegedly, we hear these things and we think to ourselves, wait a minute. First of all, you know, you ask yourself the first question. You've got to ask yourself the first question.
What's the first question? Go on, sorry.
Why is this against children? Children. Why is the first thing? Why? And then the second thing is who. It's just a script. Why? Who? Who? Why? Why? Who? Why? Who? And then you find out, now what? Why? Who? Now what? What are we basing the following situation on? Are we basing it on the average person's ability to, or moral compass? Are we basing it on the public's
Here at Verify National Archive.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Are we basing it on the outrage? You know, what are we basing it on? You know, what is the next maneuver going to be based upon? Because as everybody drains every last drop, and it hasn't really dropped yet, because we've only had like 1 or 2 people being spoken about in the public, you know, with a few little lemmings that are getting there, you know, that we can just poke fun at now. We can sit here, point fingers at, oh, you're a wanker, I told you, you know, but you know, but it's nowhere close to like the original long ass thing, or is it all going to come out gradually, bit by bit by bit, and the entire list is being done? Because when that happens, mate, from what we looked at, it's like almost every prominent, in parentheses, media person, media artist, media star, every prominent one, the ones that are at the very, 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 very front, almost every one of them is on that. And it spans like some countries, like, you know what I mean? There's some international film stars, you know what I mean? International pop stars, do you know what I mean? International politicians, international royal families. I say international because let everybody know we're covering the globe, because they are from everywhere, you know, but they're all prominent. International heads of countries, prime ministers, presidents, all the people that you took the time out to, when the time came, all those people that you actually for a moment put yourself aside and you gave them energy in the form of, you know what, I'm going to give them a chance to see what they can do. It's a tough job, but I'll give them my vote. And then you stepped outside your house and you went to the place and you lined up, and then you stood there and then you put your mark through, thinking that this is going to be, that your voice is counting, and your voice is counting towards this person coming in, right, and doing their utmost to at least follow that, you know, and to deliver on their promises, and to deliver on what is required. And everybody has done that. Well, most people have done that. So the question is now, it's like, was that in vain? What was it in vain? Because you're looking at the people now that you're suddenly hearing about, like it's nuts to see that on the mainstream, so to speak, to hear of the one dude, man, you know what I mean? Old, Silver mate, big lad, he's on there, and right, it's like, what's everybody thinking? How's everybody feel? This is the same. Was this the same person that was like made that quick denial? Oh yeah, no, we didn't. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in the Oval Office. No, nothing happened. Nothing happened, and then we found out that it did. Something did happen. There was a dress soaked in it. Right. But that's what happened. Everyone go, no, nothing happened, and then it was like, look, mate, there's a spooge mark across my chest because I was a buxom chesty girl, and look on my blue long dress, right, that kind of fit the buxom self, right. There's a spooge. What happened? And luckily, I was going to take it to the dry cleaners, but you know what? My mate turned around and said, "You know what? Where'd you get that from? That's crazy. You was having sex with your face." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Who is it?" When I said who it was, she was going, "Fucking keep that shit. Come wrap it up now. Put it in the wardrobe. Shh. Don't let any light get on that. Trust me, you'll need that one day. You'll need that one day. You will need that one day. Trust me." She goes, "Well, yeah, don't clean that."
What was the line?
Forget about that.
What was the line? "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky."
It happened, right? So look, that was
it
on
did.
telly, right? That was on telly, and everybody was there like, okay, cool, wicked. But then when it turned around to be the other way, it's like, well, but you know what? It's funny because when it happened, I was living in England, and when it happened, I remember the media was asking questions of people, and in the Americans, it was like, "Oh my god, oh yeah, oh it's disappointing, oh my, oh." In the UK, it was like, "Good luck to him, mate." It was different. I'm telling you, I'm just being honest, guys. That's what it was. That's what was going on. That's what was going on. And when What's Her Face came over to do a book signing or to do a little book tour type of thing, it was jeered, "Boo, get out of it." Boo. I don't know why, but unfortunately, she was booed. Right? I was here. So it all happened. She was booed, and everyone was cheering in, mate. So that showed. I think what that showed was, in Europe and in England, sex isn't a big deal. That's really what that demonstrated when you saw the way people responded. "Oh, good luck to him," whatever, good luck to them. And it was like, good luck to them. That was it. No one really cared. It was not at all something that anybody was like, "Oh," in the UK. No, we didn't care. All right, whatever, mate, whatever. Oh, it's in the news. Oh, okay. I'm sure there's some other connotation, but we don't know because we're British, so whatever. And that was basically it. It's nothing. It's nothing to do with us. What do we want to know for? Whatever, But when you hear, it's like, wow, that's like some betrayal of what? What are you talking about? And then you realise it's because there's a puritanical sort of approach that threads the US about intimate sex and stuff. That's it. You can tell. Europeans are more advanced in that department than they are over here. Just in acceptance that it genuinely happens, right? Everybody's happy with their body, or they're at least they're in touch with their body. Over here, people are lying to themselves, and there's a lot of lying so that people aren't in touch with their body. You see what I mean? And that's psychologically, that's how it opens up the window for so many things like imbalance, and then all of a sudden, "You're going to need my help." I see that imbalance, and then they're getting charged for stuff, but they're not really dealing with the actual situation. They're just being charged for the symptoms. And we swerved off the road again away from aliens, but you know what?
No, we didn't, because I'm giggling.
No, it's going to buzz back around.
We didn't, because I'm giggling to myself at this scene unfolding in my head, and it's what was his name? Clinton. You know. And he's in the Oval Office in this scene, and Miss Lewinsky's over the desk. He's going, "This job's so stressful. I'm really glad that you do this. I don't know how I'd get by if not just to shoot my load over your beautiful titties. I'll tell you what, I had a conversation with the Admiral today, and he told me about 3 recovered bodies in Area 51. So that's what was playing in my head. So, as far as I'm concerned, we were still on the subject.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You see, this is what we've got to contend with, mate. Yeah.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. If we sit here talking like this, pontificating over the highest stratus of our quantum quandary within ourselves, people sit there going, "What?
You get lost.
What? yeah. Clinton was doing Lewinsky," and then they're back in the room and like, you see. It's all about understanding the demographic of one's audience. You see, you've got to get in their mind.
I see.
But
Well,
still,
Please excuse me for that moment. I was not paying attention to the demographic.
It sounds like they put a very good show, doesn't it? It sounds like they put a very good show for the people.
That's all it is. It's left wing, right wing of the same bird.
It's true.
That's it. It's all politics.
Yeah.
If we break that down, it's politics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, that's all it is. Smoke and mirrors. Give the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
If people have got the illusion that they have choice,
Rock and roll.
then it's game. They think, it's kind of fair, and they don't see that both parties are connected to a much bigger fucking bird. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Let them enjoy their illusions.
It's true. It's true. I'm not. That's the other thing. I don't go running up to birds as I see them feeding right on their little grass and go, "Glad." I don't do that because I know that they're actually feeding. So if people are happy and they're enjoying an illusion, right? Because, if they're enjoying their moment, right, their human experiences about this, be it for me to tell them, "Oh, you're wrong." Yeah. Because I'm not in that. Because where am I striving to be? Neutrality, right? So of course, I'm not going to turn around and tell somebody you're wrong. Even these people that we talk about, you realize, I do not consider them wrong in any way. I consider actually no one wrong, and I've programmed myself to be that way. I can't say, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong."
But you can.
You're wrong. You're wrong. I mean,
but it doesn't make you right.
But it doesn't. No, more to the point. If I'm looking for that position of neutrality, then my answer would never be "you are wrong." My answer would not come from an egoistic position, because for me to say "you are wrong" is elevating myself above yourselves, which is not something that I intend on doing, nor do I want to speak that into existence.
Say it again.
Clearly.
Say it again.
Say what again?
It's just brilliant. I will not put myself over somebody else.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Tell them again.
I'm not going to say you're wrong. No, I'm not going to say somebody is wrong just to then, because that immediately positions myself above the person that I'm saying "you are wrong." And so no, I will not use that dialogue to cause that imbalance. I will be more specific. I will take more time to go deeper and further before I respond with "you are wrong."
Hello, it's me.
So there you have it. I mean, you can't argue with that, really, can you? Well, you could do if you wanted to. You could take the position and say, well, there are universal laws fundamentally governing some things, and there is that right and wrong approach to the thing. If you actually wanted to put something together, if you wanted to build a jet engine, you're not going to do it out of matchsticks. That would be a wrong approach.
But when you say about universal laws, because something that my daughter actually mentioned today at our discussion, we were going up to Stevenage, and we were talking about rules and how man robots. And she said, well, but isn't it interesting? She said, don't the animals also steal from other animals? And I was like, you're right there. I'm not saying they don't. So why is that wrong? Well, because man made it wrong.
Survival of the fittest, isn't it? But we know why it's wrong. This is what I'm right. All of these things where they got all these crimes about not hurting, not killing, doing as you're told, complying by these religions, do your worship, keep a clean body. Why do you think that is? It's not because they care about you, because if they care about you, they wouldn't be having you doing half of the things that you're doing to yourself, right? They just wouldn't, right? We wouldn't be educated in the way that we're educated if they cared, right? It's about keeping the stock numbers. You are stock in their eyes. You are cattle. You are stock. You are traded on the stock exchange as commerce. You know, you are a cash cow.
The stock exchange.
Yeah, you are a cash cow. Not only are you cash cow, you're a mining stock.
So do you think our value increases now, or based on what we speak, or decreases?
Do you know, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't.
No, I'm just saying that, you know. I mean,
Well, it all depends, doesn't it? If you're in an environment that wants stimulation of a mental kind of nature, then one's value would increase. But if you just want obedience and blind acceptance of what is and just work and do what I'm told, then my value is shite, because I'm not going to do that.
You know what I find quite interesting is that that somebody would consider ignoring that which is the potentiality of every actual seed. It makes zero sense for me to take anything but a natural basil seed, one that I have planted, one that has been assured that I've been assured that is an heirloom, organic heirloom, or unsullied heirloom. So then, or non-GMO heirloom. So then I plant it, and I say to myself, well, if it's a non-GMO heirloom, then it should at least be able to give me kids. I should be able to harvest, and I should be able to have children from this one. Let's take a look.
There you go.
And then it happens, right? And then I have, you know, I plant it, I grow it, I bush it up as thick as I can possibly bush it, because my basil plants grow massive, guys. I tell you, I'm really good at all this stuff. And then when I've had the whole summer full of basil, nothing but basil in everything I got, right? And then I freeze some of it, and then when I've done all of that, it's time for it to all to flower and seed. Then I let them flower and seed, and when they finish seed, it's just hundreds of seeds from that one little seed. So yeah, that's potentiality. And if that's in a basil plant or an acorn grows a mighty oak, and when all the chestnuts drop and when all that, what happens? You've got nothing but acorns everywhere. And there's thousands, and there's hundreds of seeds, hundreds of oak tree seeds, which are acorns, right? That have got the potentiality of being one of those mighty oaks. So it's not as if the world doesn't provide what it needs to be mighty and to be strong and to be flush in all of its ways. It's not as if that's not happening. It is. It's just, do we see it and do we encourage it? Do we allow that? You know.
The thing is, if we create rules to protect a certain group of the people, we are going to have to suppress the other group. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
So what would be the conclusion to that? How do we move forward from that? Could we suggest that, you know, a unifying education to bring people up to the speed, to the reality of what this world is? Would that suffice?
Well, it's the only way you begin to at least give the species an opportunity to truly see what it's about. If you're only giving a species half the nutrients, half the space for it to develop. Come on.
Well,
Is that now? Are you now really looking at the best that species can provide, or are you looking at the adaptation that species has created based upon the limitation of its current environment?
and for anybody out there, what's actually being discussed here is the Franken foods, your genetically modified foods that are Jaffas, right? They're duds, they're infertile, they're nutrient deficient. But that being said, right here on the House of Lords, right, available on Spotify, YouTube, podcasters, and what's that new one? Radio podcast?
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music. I mean, we're everywhere now, so get to know. But that being said, it is that part of the little show here where we ask our fabulous Mario. So we've been discussing some fabulous things right here on the House of Lords, but it is that time of the show. We're going to reach over to the legendary, the one and only, the right honourable, the sensational, the effervescent, forever glowing cosmic entity known as Marius. What comes up, Marius?
What comes up? What comes up? Well, based on the discussion that we had so far, what comes up is the fact that without an increase in our awareness, how are we going to solve the humanity issue? You know, if we look back, there was no communities. You had to be accepted by the community, right? The community will actually decide if they accept you in their community. So if you're doing something bad, you'll be kicked out of the community because you were not adding value to the community. But nowadays, we don't have that, do we? We know ourselves, but the society created all these cities and where everyone comes together and lives together, but no one decides who joins the community. Anyone can move in, and then they can do whatever they want. So without increasing our awareness to the fact that our morale is so low when we look at the human race, the only solution is to increase our own morale. We deep down, we know what's right and what's wrong, what's progressive, what's regressive. Are we willing to ask the questions? Are we willing to take the action in order to create a better world, the one that everyone talks about? Everyone wants a better world. One is about doing the introspection. Look how he goes back to introspection. That's interesting. It's about doing introspection and asking ourselves these questions. What can we do to solve these issues? Because the world is going nuts. Well, this is what comes up, Joe.
And there you had it, pearls of wisdom for our legendary, right honourable, sensational, galactic quantum theory of a man known as Marius, giving you those pearls of wisdom. So if you want to enjoy some more pearls of wisdom for the mystic far reaches of our globe, then come and join us right here on Podcasters, the House of Lords, available on other networks. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this quick ad. Don't know where, grab yourself a tea, a coffee, or whatever floats your boat. We'll be right back in 2 short shakes of a lamb's tail. Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oof. All right, so
I'll tell you what, that music really increases the energy. It like makes you jump and, be more energetic, doesn't it?
I love that traditional stuff. You mentioned that the last time. I love how
Yeah.
that traditional vibe actually energizes you. It's good. Well found. Very well paired. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to
Oh,
see
don't worry.
that.
One day we'll go there. We'll have a proper party, Romanian party.
I actually look forward to that. Definitely.
In different
Yeah.
parts of Romania, because Romania is formed of 4 different principates, so it's different cultures as you go around. So there you go.
Excellent. I
You'll
like
have
that.
an interesting journey.
I do like that. See, there you go. See, things to look forward to. Reasons to be cheerful.
One, two, three.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Jury there.
Love that, mate.
What was I going to say? What we talking about? We originally, the title of this one is "Do They or Don't They?"
Part 2.
Part 2, aliens. Part 2. If you do us a favour, if you've just joined, and you haven't heard it being said to you, and then you don't know the obvious, please subscribe and like. Okay, and tell your friends. Yeah, spread the word. That's all we ask. Subscribe, like, tell your friends. Look out for the newsletter. If you want the newsletter, send us your email address to thehouseoflords3@gmail.com. That's thehouseoflords3@gmail.com, and we shall send you a copy of the newsletter. If you have any queries, any questions, any topic matter that you would like for us to discuss, if you have any questions about your world, the world around us, the thing that you're in, this soup, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to write to us and field those questions. Again, that's thehouseoflords3, that's the number 3, @gmail.com. That's thehouseoflords3@gmail.com. Gentlemen, what are we talking about? Are we my question is to the listeners and to anybody else outside of the group. You've seen the way in which consciousness manifests images, ideas of that which is outside of this particular realm, whether it be portaled away or light years away, whether in distance or whether in time. There are clear depictions. There's almost like there's a category. We call it sci-fi on planet Earth, and that's anything to do with space and beyond Earth's realms, frontier, the moon, anything like that. Sci-fi gadgets, things that might not be technology that might not always be from here. Sci-fi, that's what we call sci-fi. Journeys out there, ragtag teams, small teams, the last teams like Battlestar Galactica, or the order of powerful monks in the form of Jedi, Star Wars. These depictions, they're part of human consciousness, they're part of our psyche, they're part of things that we understand. So the question I ask, well, maybe we don't understand, but the question I pose to you gentlemen, what does that mean? What does it mean? What does sci-fi mean to planet Earth? What does sci-fi mean to our species?
It's a good question. It is a good question. You could surmise that it's nothing more than a fanciful writings and creations of individuals. That's certainly a field of thought by many and expressed by many, that all of these sci-fi films and everything else are exactly that, just fanciful, whimsical, made-up stories. However, there are those. What?
Sir?
Yeah.
Very quickly. I take it that we can go. Can we go down the rabbit hole today, please? Come on, sir. Just a quick one. Come on. Rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Keep going.
Yeah, there is that other field of thought, right? And some that has some quite compelling evidence that the information has come from various alphabet organizations over the years, and been made into these theatrical masterpieces of creation and synthetic effects and so on. And even if we was to look at some of the biblical scriptures, some of the stuff that was taken out. What do you mean taken out? There's stuff out there that isn't public knowledge, but it's public information. It's out there for all to see. There are characters in our biblical histories that lived for hundreds of years. There is encounters of UFOs, extraterrestrials. There's just so many cultures around the world have a rich history and artifacts, art, sculptures depicting other life forms other than ourselves. There's even fields of science study that have discovered that there's anomalies within our own genetic code that baffle science today. There's been people within the Disclosure Project and the Disclosure scene that have examined bodies, skeletal bodies, the remains of entities that are not human, that are not living man or woman. And all of that information is out there. It's been completely verified as unexplainable because it doesn't coincide with any data that's within the public record. And the only answer that is left that this is otherworldly, and yet, well, people are still just want to watch Celebrity Come Dine With Me.
Well, I mean, when you say otherworldly,
yes,
you see, there's a couple of things that come to mind. When I think of otherworldly, I could think of this world at another time, a time way before us.
Oh, well, that leads us into our beautiful segue a bit later on with the Smithsonian.
Right, because those are because that's one way that you can look at the expression of otherworldly. It can be that which is of the past, so the Bronze Age, the Ice Age, the whatever the ages, whatever the various different ages that we have here, that we've gone through, that are actually highlighted in the various illustrations of our history.
Right. There was a like you were going to say.
Yeah, there was, but then I stopped. I just thought, no, let me stop there.
Okay. Right. Well, do you know what? Before we go on, right?
Yeah.
If right, something weird. Oh, there it is. That's all my bad. Right. Let me start that again. Let me start this whole segment again because it went all wrong, didn't it?
Is that the Hovis? Is that the Hovis one?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Right.
Go on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, taking a brief look at what's on the pinboard. From a previous show between myself, Yanni, and Maris, the right honourable members of the House of Lords. In a previous show, we once discussed the existence of extraterrestrials and all of the profound possibilities. And here we are in this segment of the show, this moment in time, where we're going to be discussing the Smithsonian Institute and what they call archaeological anomalies, strange things discovered that break all current comprehensions of human activity here on this earth. Objects like spark plugs infused in rock to be estimated to be 300 million years old. 7 feet, giant footprints in granite. Mysterious artifacts defying all comprehension. Hammers found in sediment rock whose handles have turned to coal. Defying all current archaeological, historical, biblical notions of living bipedal hominids here on Earth. So we find ourselves asking rather peculiar questions. What was before? And what is to come? And there you go. You see, that's what's on a pinboard.
I do like that. And you know what? If you'd have just allowed that last beep, 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 beep. Just ended nice. Yeah, because you had it. You bang on timing, everything, bruv. Beautiful. If you'd just allowed just a little bit,
just a little bit
of confidence,
yeah.
and just let that thing play out, and that would have been. I would have people would have gone to sleep on that one, bruv. I would have been like, oh, perfect. Cup of tea, biscuit dunked in as they do it. Yeah, just yeah, great. Love it. Absolutely love that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you guys could go on the ride with us as we develop this here podcast. I am now quaking in my boots because I don't know what these guys are going to come up with. But I know I'm not going to be able to get away with it for too much longer.
We'll find something. Something will come up.
That's what I'm just like.
Something will present itself.
Woo-wee. I'm over here. I'm all right still so far, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, yeah, really, really nicely done. So, as we're back in again. So look, when you ask people, look, do you think that we are the only forms of life in this part of what we perceive to be our universe, our solar system, whatever you've been told about? What kind of questions do you what kind of answers nowadays, 2024, do you expect to get back if you were to ask those questions publicly, gentlemen?
Do you believe in aliens? If we was to ask that question publicly,
if you were to ask that question publicly now, and you're going to say you're in a bar, you're just chilling, you're waiting, the geezer serving you your Guinness, right? So you're sitting there, and then, you know, and as you're sitting there, like some couples walk up there, ordering a drink, and they sort of, you all right? Yeah, jump in. And you're there, and as a couple, as the guys on the other side, the chicks in between you and him, and he's like, "What are you doing, mate?" But never mind. Anyway, they ask for the drink, and whilst they're asking for the drink and waiting, you notice that she's looking at you. Well, she keeps around looking at you, right? So then you've got to ask her, because she doesn't know you from Adam, right? She's with the geezer, so you're not trying to. You just mind your own business. You're cool, right? But she turns around, and she says to you, she's looking at you, and you notice her looking, and she looks at you, like looks in your face, right? Are
we flirting with this person, or are we asking a question?
No, you're not. You're doing your thing. You're waiting for your Guinness. No, you're not flirting with anybody. Check it out. You're not flirting with anybody. You're waiting for your Guinness.
Right.
But this woman is just looking at you. And she's just turned up with this fella. They were arm in arm. And when they got to the bar, she's there like that. He's got his hand in his wallet. So now they're separate. And she's kind of nudged over to you. And she's looking at him and talking, but then she's looking at you. So you've got to... So the only thing you can do is you're waiting for your Guinness to say, "Hey, look, excuse me, I see you looking at me. Do you believe in aliens?" And if she goes, "What? What do you mean by..." Now you've got two choices. You could re-ask the question to reaffirm the word alien, so now she knows you're talking about extra ETs. You can add ET at the end if you want, extra. Or you could style it off and say, because the way you've been looking at me, like I've seriously, I've never met you. You're completely alien to me. I don't know who you are. So, you know, I appreciate you looking at me, but which way? So you see what I mean? You got these two ways.
What do you want?
Exactly. What do you want? Yeah, that's the thing. What do you want? Yeah. What's up? What do you want? Right? But what I'm saying is that, or me being me, because I'm just going to be. Did you believe in aliens? Have you seen any? Why not? You just strike up a conversation. You never know what could happen. You never know. So you just might have a conversation, blah, blah, blah. And then she'd be like, oh, look, have you met my husband? No, I haven't. What's your name? Hey, Bill. How you doing, Bill? You all right, mate? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I happen to do blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm in that industry. Yeah, give me your card. Next thing you know, boss. Why? Because you were brave enough to strike up a conversation about whatever's in your head. And you weren't lewd about it. You were not flirting. Because you heard me. You asked, are we flirting? Well, then I say, no, you're not. Conversations can happen without that taking place. There can be that attraction, ladies and gentlemen. That thing can happen without it being flirting. It's just a recognition of souls, mate. That's about it. You know, you're right there with your partner. Don't matter. Hello, have you met such and such? You see? Right there. No balance, no story, you know, no deep-rooted desires. And now all of a sudden, man, the world's opened up. The universe has opened up. Do you get it? Ladies and gentlemen, fine example. I'm just trying to tell you. Just trying to show you something.
I like the way you kind of approach the subject with Joe Public. That's a good one. But I, from my experience, because I've asked the question an awful lot over the years, and I find with the older generations, there's a much more kind of whimsical response. You know, an uncomfortable kind of, well, there must be something, right? You kind of, well, there must be something, you know.
Right.
But that's just get neither here or there, you know, for any dead cert with the older generations. But with the younger generations, they're a lot more savvy. They're a lot more privy than most people think to accepting and potentially actually believing in extraterrestrial life.
What say you, Brother Marius?
To say at the moment, just listening to these introspections that you guys are having. But on what you're saying, Carl, I can see that. The new generations always come with a different approach than the older generation. And that's been happening for probably forever. That's why the progress happens, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much people are against whatever the AI or you name it, this progression that we're going through, it will happen because the new generation accepts it.
Good point.
And this is what a lot of older people have a tendency to lose sight of, the very kind of evolutionary process that Marius just brought forth. Right. And it's you know, a lot of the older people within the Truth Seekers movement, one of their gripes is, oh, no one's doing nothing, and failing to see that their action is actually the something that they're saying people aren't doing. Right? It's like, if you're doing it, then people are doing it. You know, you're in a room full of people that are doing it right now. They're informing people, they're talking about it, and that's spreading. You know, so it's almost like a proxymoron by saying, oh, nobody's doing nothing's happening, but you're there every day speaking to countless people on a regular basis that are inquiring, sharing information about what's going on in the world.
Right.
And it's like you're blind to the present and you're also blind to your own action. But here's another thing that is aware they don't see, because they don't know.
Ignite your vitality. Meet the LifeSpring Gold Card, a quantum leap in wellness. Revitalize your bioenergy, boost stamina, ease aches and improve your mental focus. Shield yourself from electromagnetic frequencies emitted from cell phones, laptops and other smart technologies. Restructure tap water, revitalize food and harmonize everything around you. Elevate well-being with LifeSpring, made in the USA. Order today from VanessaElston.com.
They don't knock around with necessarily younger generations or anything like that. They don't see the progressive change within perception within the younger generations.
Mm-hmm.
So all the while they're up there within their circle of friends that are of the same kind of peer group, and procrastinating that nothing's happening, but yet again failing to see that they are the very change that they're saying isn't taking place. And then yet also failing to see the aforementioned, you know, younger generations that have gone on leaps and bounds in the field of perception of what could be potentially going on in the world.
It makes sense. Makes a lot of
We
sense.
were that young generation at one point, right?
Of course.
You think about it, right?
I still
We
am.
were that young generation.
I still am. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the point.
Forever young, I'm gonna be forever young.
Mind over matter.
And when you see now people complaining about, oh, AI is going to take over, that's a bad thing. And you pose the question, hold on a second, weren't you part of introducing all of this? Because when all the new games appeared and all the, Tetris and you name it, weren't you that young generation that you were excited about it? Seriously. It's just, how can I... Well, I can see maybe how can people forget that it's that way of, oh, now you're an adult, you should take life more seriously.
People also fail to be able to imagine, right, the potential of that we live on a planet that, archaeologically speaking, has got evidence that stems millions of years back, right, of nanotechnology. There's been artifacts discovered, nanotechnology, screws and tiny pipes, pipes found in cliffs in China that are tens and hundreds of thousands of years old. Just things all over the world. Like I mentioned, the hammer, the fuses, the screws, the footprints. Just so much written archaeological reference to high technological civilizations that were wiped out through either mud or tsunami, flood. Whole citadels, whole advanced, historically speaking, through the artifacts that we found and through the writings, they describe themselves as very developed cities, of high level technological, some would say beyond our current understanding, and literally wiped off the surface of the earth. Right? There's also historical reference of visitations, all across the world in archaeological reference, historical reference of light beings, of visitors from the stars, of people from the Pleiades, people from the Draconis, I always struggle with this name, and there I go, I just wrote a rule for myself every time. Zeta Reticuli. There you go, the Zeta Reticuli, Andromedans, you got the tall whites, you got the Nordics, you got the short greys, you got the tall greys, you got the ant people in the native indigenous cultures of Mesoamerica that knew of the ant people. You've got allegedly the mantis people. You've got the reptoid race that apparently were here before us, but because of loads of deluges and planetary changes, they went underground.
Correct.
And developed a civilization underground. This is where we hear historical references to cities within the earth. These stories of people traversing cavernous spaces and coming across peculiar races all over the world throughout history. That there's reference to civilization before we currently understand it, and our academic and historical institutes just out and out hide these artifacts. Anybody that wants to understand history, read history books prior 1920.
Right.
Seriously, if you read history books prior to 1920, you will come across reference even to the ether. Nowadays, the ether is considered woohoo. Before 1920, the ether was on the periodic table. This is a fact.
Listen, in today's world, the immune system is considered woohoo. What are you talking about? That was taught, in the 80s, in the 70s? It's not far. I mean, seriously.
But this is the point I'm getting at, Marius. Any true advocate of the evolutionary and historical happenings of Earth and humans, right? You begin to be exposed to information way outside what the conventional story is.
Right.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your disposition, right, or your position on the subject, right, is it makes more sense. That is not taught, that you end up stumbling across, that is this alternative historical timeline, makes more sense given all the archaeological anomalies, Puma Punku, Göbekli Tepe, the cultures throughout Peru, the mountains and plateaus on the top of mountains after deluges and floods. The megalithic builders that are using 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, in some cases 5,000 ton blocks. The bizarre H blocks that look like a landing platform that in some cases are still stood and still together. There's archaeological wonders that defy our academic story that's presented as this is what is. And unfortunately, what we're told what is stems from some biblical iconography, right? Going back a few thousand years, that this one person, I'm not even going to get into that, but you know the story.
Yeah.
Right. And then that populated the whole world. But yet we all know as a species, right, that, you know, you can only kind of have so many cousin wives before the kids start coming out a bit retarded.
Right.
Right, so something's a foot straight out the gate, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there must be.
It's raw, ladies and gentlemen. It is like these almonds. Our conversation is raw, ladies and gentlemen. Carry on.
But that's all I'm getting at. You know, the information that is available outside the presented narrative actually makes more sense when you start piecing it together. And that involves extraterrestrials, ETs, abductions, intermarriages between other planetary beings and this created Lulu. If you've never come across that reference, please go listen to some of the other references in the shows and go and listen to some of the other pre-recorded shows. And if you like this one, go right back to episode 1 and join us on the journey and catch up to speed. And if you like that, share it with your friends, pin it to a page. You know, tag somebody else in it and leave a comment, because we're hoping we're looking to build some kind of segment where we can respond to your inquiries, your questions, your curiosities. But what do you say, my right honourable members of the House?
You know, are you?
I'm here. I'm listening.
Are you eating?
No.
Eating, not you, Marius.
Oh.
Iani, are you eating? That's so unprofessional, you know that?
He's having a mince pie.
Yeah, he's got his mic, he's got his studio. Ladies and gents, if you've never seen the studio, it's all fabulous, full of gadgetry, full of wonders for your audible delight. And he knows all mic discipline, he knows how to conduct himself and everything else. But when it comes down to the House of Lords, he'll stick the kettle on in the background, turn the microwave on. Well, he hasn't turned the microwave on. I'm not going to put that in his world, right? I've seen him cooking. But Matt, you know not to eat on air.
I apologise. I apologise.
What's all about this professional?
I apologise. Professionalism is true. It's true. I apologise. I didn't realise the mic was picking me up.
What about just being real, man? What about professionalism? Shut up.
No.
Just be real.
No, we are being real, but at the same time, there is some standard that you want to keep.
The man is hungry. What's wrong with you?
No, makes a good point. So, as you can see, I put the glass down. It's all right. I've munched off what I needed to do, and thank you. Metabolism is just always fast, so you know. Yes, but true. Yes, we are professionals, and I would like you to disregard the lip smacking in the last 5 minutes, yeah, because I just had to.
people are bored with professionalism, man. They want real, just real.
Although there is Although I must admit,
Don't delude yourself, Marius, too much.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I must admit, we are very much. I mean, I've yet to edit anything yet. I have yet. It's just record, boom, up. So from the first bloop, bloop, whatever, if it could hear the ringtone, it would do that. But from the first hello, whatever, that's it. Until the last giggling at the end because something's happened, and you know, it's awesome. So I just do that because it's a genuine situation. We're consistent with what we do. We're consistent as our individual selves. We're consistent in the depth in which we like to go into a topic. We're consistent with keeping ourselves, at least making sure that we're not causing ourselves any legal issues in our conversation, because we know the world has become a little bit softer and more puff pastry like. I'm just being honest. So yeah, I'm just being honest. It's true. Not like it was back in the day. Old people back me up on that one. You know, and so, you know, and you know, so because of that, so we're doing one of those things, but at the end of the day, the inquisitive mind is there, the observational eyes are there, and ears are there. So questions are very selves, like we don't have all the answers. We will not sit here and say we have all the answers, so here we go. Blah, 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 blah. No, that's not happening. We have questions, just like everybody else, but we'd like to ask those questions, and hopefully, you know, ask the questions that you guys are trying to ask amongst yourselves, or within yourselves, within your communities, or what have you. You know, or explore aspects that you've come across but you're not too sure. Explore them with us. It's also explore together so we understand something together, you know. And that's really the key. Gentlemen.
Walk with me. I can't remember the words. I haven't had this done.
Walk with me.
Talking about professionalism.
What? I'll be brutally honest, right? I got this thing, right? I don't do right, but here it is, right? Self-confession. Mouth noises. Mouth noises. I don't know, it just makes me heckle, and it's like, as soon as I hear it, I can't hear it, and then that's all I can hear. And it's my thing. Yeah, I've done it for years. Even, you know, family dinners, there's certain people that I won't eat with because just they're
I'm just laughing now. I'm laughing now because I'm thinking, oh yes, whilst I was doing that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I apologize, mate.
I love it when it happens in Clubhouse and there is a particular person that does it quite often. And he's like, and speaking, and I'm like, can you swallow first?
Yeah, there are.
What's that?
Yeah, no, there is a few people that do that. I must admit, there is.
Oh, what?
Do you know? I can regale a story, right? I don't know why I keep saying that. Regale. I don't know if that's the right word. I really don't.
It is. It's old school, mate.
It is, yeah. I don't know where it's come from.
Very
but I picked it up
old
from somewhere, but I'm going to use it.
I regale a story.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Times past.
From times past, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to regale a story about an Indian restaurant going out for a works meal, right? And this character, right, his nickname was Man Pig, right? I'm being truthfully honest. That's the gentleman's name. That's what people nicknamed him, Man Pig. And he liked his party and he liked going out. You know, but he was well kept. You know, a bit rotund, but well kept. You know, he weren't a smelly kind of overweight. He was a tidy Giacomo kind of overweight.
Okay.
I've never said that before. I love that.
Brilliant.
Anyway, right. So we're in this Indian restaurant, and I just happen to be sat across the table from this Man Pig. And we all the food comes, right? And somebody had pre-warned me, and I don't know if they orchestrated it or something, but because I'd never had a meal with some of these individuals, and this man pig was one of them. And he started eating this Indian food. It didn't matter what food it was, right? But he was a cement mixer. He was a cement mixer. Just the whole face was open, and everything that was going on was right there. And it was right. I got to do some of this MMSR stuff now. Right, whistle. all of that, and it was rank. And I'll be honest, it's just rank. I will say, you know, even relatives, if they say something, they've got some food in their mouth, I say not with their mouth full, they didn't. And some of these are my elders. Yeah, it's just like, no, not with your mouth full. You're not. You know? And one of our trainers as well, he has a piece on for doing it every now and again. And I think I even turn around and say to him, what you doing? Just decorum, please. Yeah. But I understand that's within me. That's some internal snobbery or some issue. I'm not entirely sure. But it is recognised.
I'm just laughing because now I know how bad that was for you. I
can't believe he's laughing
at
about this stuff. I love it.
Manners. Is that what comes up to, is it? Manners.
It's true, manners are true. It's really
one's mother would slap me for not having.
Mother would slap me.
Yeah, if I didn't have decorum at the table or in a public environment, you know, that pinch under the arm or the that nasty grab, that nasty grab under the table that just feels like she's broke your thigh bone, and she'll give you that look and a whisper, "Don't you dare embarrass me." Yeah, that's it.
My sack.
All right, well. Yeah, just all beat you up a little bit internally, emotionally, and morally.
Yeah. Did you let go? You've actually caught me sack.
Oh.
just clipped it because you weren't, you know, she went in. Ah, don't do that.
She
and then you just realised and you can't. There's nothing you can do. You just got to withstand it.
Yeah, you just got to take it.
Oh gosh, yeah. Pain.
Anyway, we'll move on from Iani's scrotal sack being squeezed by his mother.
Actually,
for some reason, this as a joke, just as a joke. Okay, that's not gonna be your.
What?
It's like, what's for dinner tonight, Ian?
What's for dinner tonight?
Oh no, that's a joke. That's not gonna be your. Don't worry about it. It's just that because we were having this discussion, I was like, okay, this kind of comes out. What's for dinner?
You see, look, you try to put food in front of me like that. See that? See how I used to see how I gave.
So we turn it into a cooking show as well. So it's like one of those morning breakfast shows where we're just chewing the fat, and then we go over to Iani's segment where he does a bit of grub.
Oh God! Listen, we have it.
What do you mean we have it? What are you talking about?
What do we have?
No, we don't. No, we don't have anything.
We do. Listen.
I'm listening. But we have nothing.
As much as I know of you so far, you are very, how can I put it?
Creative.
Genius.
Nah, that's not what I'm thinking.
He's enlightened.
What I'm thinking is he looks after his health. So he eats very healthy. So what's the tip of the day for the listeners? How to look after themselves?
Tip of the day from Iani.
Tip of the day. What's the tip of the day?
It doesn't have to be only the food. It can be also exercise. It can be anything that you have as a tip. The tip of the day. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh no, I mean,
I was going to say, have a blow on your saxophone and then give people hell to. Again, that one.
I hold it too much.
It's too much.
I couldn't hold it no more. No, the sax.
Well, I couldn't say the other thing, could I? Well, I suppose I could have, but I'm not gonna incriminate your friend on it.
there's nothing to incriminate because whatever it was, I weren't there, mate. That's it. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Every time we do a show, we sound like we need to go to hospital. I mean, it's brilliant. This is what you should be doing with your life. From me. You know what I mean? Consider the domestic terrorist. You should take good advice from me. I tell you, I'll put you in good stead.
Yeah, very good. Actually, very good. Very good.
Yeah. So how can you the tip of the day?
Tip of the day, mate. Tip of the day, mate. Tip of the day. You know what? What's the tip of the day? So, what would I have tip of the day? I suppose I could come up with a few things that are pretty when you really think about them. I suppose I could do something like that. That could be.
You do realize that the listeners have no idea that you're quite fit at your age and you're looking after yourself, same as.
I can't believe you brought his age into it.
Yeah, no, do you know what I mean?
That's so bad.
Listen.
That's very
He's the big
ageist
brother.
of him, isn't it? He's an ageist, isn't he?
He's the big brother. I'm the middle. You're the youngest cow. So don't worry about
I got
it.
that
It is what it
ageist
is.
thing.
I know, yeah, that's it. He just
I
ripped
didn't-
you off.
Yeah, you see what he did?
Yeah, he just ripped
he
you
did?
off as an old man.
I didn't
You
mention
see what he did?
numbers. I didn't
You see what he
mention
did?
numbers. I didn't.
No, man,
mention
you
numbers.
threw that Zimmer frame pamphlet at me. That's what you did.
What I
Scooter.
mentioned, wisdom. of your age. Oh, you guys are unbelievable.
With rims.
Oh, dear, yeah.
Sorry, man. I so rudely interrupted you.
No, you're-
Order in the house. Order. We will hear the Right Honourable Marius on the left here. Come on.
Anyway, that was a healthy laugh, right? Is a healthy laugh? Is laugh healthy? Yani, tell us. Is laughter healthy?
Well, actually, laughter. So it would appear, and so it seems, and by the recounts of many a person, laughter is actually healthy for you. The intake, the quick intake and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, the involuntary muscular flexing, the diaphragm wobbling up and down. Now your lungs are getting. That's actually supposed to be really, really, really good for you. That's the reason why when you finish laughing and giggling your face off, or giggling your proverbial face off, when you finally catch your breath and you get up off the floor, you're not drooling face down because you're laughing that much, or somebody's attacked you and they're tickling you, and now you can't breathe. All right.
And
And
also,
they let you up
what happens in the brain when we laugh? 'Cause
What
you
happens in the brain?
Yes.
Who even knows? Who even knows? What do you mean? What happens in the brain? I tell you what.
What is being released in the brain?
Oh, all sorts of wonderful things like dopamine. Is dopamine being released in the brain?
Endorphins.
There you go, endorphins. You see. Okay, so why would we do what? Okay, see, see what I was about to do is say, let the audience come and tell us what do you think is being released in the brain? Because right now,
fuck.
but what did you do? You just went in there because you wanted to be. So we wanted to be the Marius show, didn't it? What comes off for Marius? Well, I tell you what comes off for Marius: endorphins.
But you knew that.
But I was going around the houses enjoying myself. You know, it's a new experience. I was going around the houses. Hey, you know, I want to the dopamine, follow the endorphin. I just wanted to just have fun. But no, all of a sudden, strict marriage came in.
Well, sorry.
No, don't apologize. There's no. You're not sorry. Remember what did he say?
I know. I'm not sorry.
So exactly. So there's nothing. What I'm saying is, it's just fun. See, look, just swerving around in the track right now, just doing burnouts in the middle of the road. You know what I mean? Because we can. Choosing which road I'm going to peel down. See?
Now, we do not give medical advice.
Not a chance. No,
but there has been certain records of people healing themselves of cancer by laughter and all that sort of thing. So
from a layman's perspective, right? From a layman's perspective, and from your own. And here's the thing to do. See, look, me saying endorphins or me saying dopamine or whatever it is that's released, whatever other chemicals that are released into the system, right? That isn't going to be as effective as me taking people back to any time that they have laughed in their lives. Now, I can only make the assumption that at some point, our listeners have laughed their faces off. At some point in their lives, they've like, right, fully, belly,
till it
open.
hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Ribs solid, you know. Oh, no more. You know, they're begging. You know, no, nothing funny.
I've done that.
You know.
Never mind that.
Right, yeah,
I've done that myself. Begging, no more, stop, because I'm in pain.
Yeah,
but it's great.
Yeah. But it's wonderful. And when you finish, you feel incredible. You feel recharged. You feel the whole thing. So what I prefer to do to allow for the listener to be in the same space as us when it comes to the experience, and to not do what most media tends to do, which is kind of make the consumer kind of treat them as if they don't know how to imagine, they don't know how to do certain things. And I said, it's time. I don't want to be part of that. I know that humanity has broad scopes of possibility when it comes to imagination. They have the ability to fill in the gaps if given the opportunity to fill in the gaps. So that's the reason why I prefer not to insult the intelligence of my global brethren and sistren, every country, every shape and size that you are. Not insult your intelligence. I know you have the ability to imagine yourself, because if I can, so can you. That's my stance on it.
And there you had it with our very own Yanni right here on the House of Lords, giving you those tips just to get through your daily day. So if you don't prepare yourself, when you're in trouble, you just might need yourself. Hey, Yanni. I don't know, I'm just toying with it.
Look at that. You guys just really snuck that in. You've been preparing, so you guys have prepared that behind my back. No, you did. Must have. No?
Yes, of course.
Was that on the fly? Was that on the fly?
All right there, just on the fly. Just thought, this is what might work. This might
keep
work.
It then.
Yeah.
We'll keep it. We'll keep that. Yeah, I like
There
it.
you
We'll
go.
keep that. Guys, that's really good. We'll keep that. That's awesome. Yeah, right. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I remember those days. The George Peppard.
There you go. That's it. So let me just save that. Save that. Press the button.
And I'll be slightly less forest the next time, so that I'm at least clear thinking straight. Oh, yes, I know the answer to that. Marius, because you know how Marius is coming with his professor hat. So, what is the square root of flabum flabum?
Well, the square root of flabum is point qua.
Exactly. And if we don't do that, right, then Marius said, look, you see, gentlemen, You see, gentlemen, this is why we want to make it.
I don't know, why is it Marius turns into Vlad the Impaler? This is what we want you to do. Listen to us.
He does. And he kind of very strict about it too, man. You can't really. And if you try to skirt around it, try to do that sort of playful British cotton, that school kid skirt around, you know, man, he brings you back into the class, you know. So where you going? Come back in the classroom, man. Sit down. That's Marius. Sits down, and now for that, come to the class and explain to everybody what you meant.
I tell you what, here's an interesting idea, right? Abduction cases. There's been lots of them, isn't there? There's been movies made about them. Fire in the Sky was one. Anybody else seen that movie?
Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky.
What is to say? Listen, this just come up with this idea. Fuck that. What is to say that when we actually have these kind of dreams, we're not being abducted somewhere?
So what you're saying is, as we're sleeping and we go into a deep dream, that's us being abducted in that moment.
It's a possibility.
What about the possibility of you visiting other realities where you exist, and it's like now you're seeing a window to them, you can enact them, your consciousness goes to the closest one. The consciousness goes to whichever one, because it doesn't matter, it's not even the closest one, because quantum, there is no time or space or anything like that. It's just whatever you are, literally whatever's in line, whatever you're in line. There you go. Yeah. Whatever you see, whatever you're in line with, boom, you're there. Next, so that could be 100 light years away. It could be 1922. It could be 2140. You know, and you're just there. Boom. Your consciousness allows you to go to that reality.
The beauty of it, Yanni, it can be either, because it's a mosaic of events. It's not just one or the other.
Right. It's a mosaic. So it's happening. It's just whichever one you become present to in that moment. If you are present to the one that's 50 light years away, then in that moment, you're present doing whatever you're doing in that reality. You're present to it in that dream. If you suddenly flick to 7 years ahead,
the fact that this perspective came to my mind, through the mind, that presents as a possibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
I liken it to dials on an old analog radio. Right, you remember the old analog radio used to turn the dial and the needle would go across, and you had all the numbers, all the stations, right? Now, just because you tuned into one, right, doesn't mean all those other stations stop broadcasting. They're all still occupying the same space. You've just tuned into a particular frequency that picks up your favorite station. But you, as the transmitter and receiver, have the capabilities to move that needle and experience anything that you wish.
Yep.
It all comes down to how one is relating to the purity of that desire, you know, that will, that knowing, that want.
Right. Right. I like that. Have some power to that.
Thanks.
I like that.
There you go.
That's how we do that, you know. We kind of, we're a little bit raw like that, you know. Excuse me, one.
He chopped on the mince pie.
Yes, I love mince pies. All the way into January. Sometimes I get excited, but you know, if you see, I do like that probability why, or that possibility why, because I feel as I go on, I do feel more and more as if any possibility could
What's going on here?
any possibility.
Oh my goodness.
Was many. Excuse me. Okay. What I was going to say was, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it is. What I was going to say was, I feel as if there are so many. I feel as if because of that understanding now, that awareness that seems to be more present, the awareness that, there may actually be some other realities, meaning not just the three of us in that respect, but I'm saying from the perspective of how we see the average, I would say the average schmo, but the average person, the average individual, right? The average group, the average couple. What's been presented to them over time. So now what's in their zeitgeist, what's in their mind's eye currently when they come home, they may not be lucky enough to, or they're not lucky, I'll remove that actually. They may not be cognizant enough to not just come in and switch the television on. In which case then they're absorbing whatever's being broadcast at that particular moment, right? So, for those that aren't that can't do that, this is where the dynamic, this is where the important dynamic feels it needs a place to emerge, where it can affect positively a broader change, where there'd be more susceptibility to a broader change, a broader spectrum of an uptake of that example, a replication within that space then of that example.
Yeah. Does make for interesting thinking, though, doesn't it? You start pondering upon some of the comings and goings of what potentially could be. This is part and parcel on why we have the conversations that we have, because of the duplistic quantum expression of this multiverse, this idea of everything happening right now, past, present, and future, is all within this space, and it's you, the individual, that can place yourself with anywhere within that experience. And there are those out there that claim they can do that. There has been testimonials from individuals and witnesses that have apparently done these things, astral travel,
right?
Remote viewing and things of this nature is an indication that you are a tuning fork in this instance. You can emit particular bandwidths and frequencies to tap into extrasensory perceptions, and in some cases that is lifting the veil on other realms of probability and possibility.
You see, I like that, because as you were saying this, I was remembering this Japanese, either Korean or Japanese magician. He happened to appear on, yes, I know, I think it was America's Got Talent, right? But I've got to tell you see, being the, how we've always, I don't know whether you guys have had the same experience, but I've always been quite intrigued by those that say they can perform illusions and magic tricks and stuff like that, and especially when it comes to doing it in front of you, sleight of hand, this type of thing. It's always for me an opportunity, a challenge to see whether I can see the
if you can see the trick.
Yes, see if I can get the perfect opportunity to try and observe the trick and see whether I can finally be quick enough or finally be ahead of the game enough to know where I should be in order to be able to observe that moment where it is exposed. Now, as we go forward in years, because we go back from the days of David Niven right through to David Nixon was this incredible musician, a magician from back in the day. There were various people that did their thing in England that we grew up on, and then some of the big shot Americans, like the Copperfields. If we can find them, so never mind. Like the Copperfields and stuff like that, where it was more illusion, the grand illusion, like trying to make the Empire State Building disappear. We know that Statue of Liberty, and we know that the Statue of Liberty was not picked up and taken away. However, the audience who were brought to the Statue of Liberty on the platform with the swirlings, they didn't realize that they had actually been moved. So when they were looking, boom, they were looking in the same place. They just didn't realize it because they didn't feel the platform move. It's the only way you guys get rid of them. And they didn't turn them around or anything. So the platform had to have moved. They're looking, they don't see anything. The helicopters are now looking. There's smoke everywhere. The helicopters, overhead helicopters are focusing in. And I'm like, how are you not looking at the thing? Of course, you're part of it, because the thing must be over here. It's funny, it's interesting. So yeah, that type of stuff, right? But check this out. America's Got Talent. This Japanese guy changed the situation completely. To where I'm like, are you? In my head, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, right, yeah, there's nothing to say that couldn't be somebody who, for all intents and purposes, looks like a magician. He's doing magic stuff and he's in the competition. But it's only when they get really down to the nitty gritty, each week, getting better and better and better, to where I'm like, oh, this guy's got to have a Vegas show. I can just see he's got to make a Vegas show. And I'm somebody who loves to see the slightest little thing, continuity, these types of things. It was when one day, while I saw this guy, he put his hand, he was doing things so slowly that he put his hand out, the palm of his hand, and that was it, just facing the camera. Nothing else close by his hand, nothing. He slowly put his hand, so you slowly saw the back of his hand, and then you slowly saw the front, slowly. And then he just, with his palm open still, his palm was open, and I saw the card materialize in his palm. And what was interesting was, I thought, as the camera was zooming in to set up I thought, no way. I thought, hang on, wait, they're just going to do it. And then people are just going to think, oh, that's really great. But you see, the main thing is that there was nothing, his hand was clear, and he didn't have to click his hand or touch or nothing or anything like that. He had his hand open, and it just materialized in his hand. Nothing else was around. He didn't drop it from anywhere, he didn't pull from the side. There's none of that. And it was so slow. The way he did it was purposefully so slow that you knew there was no way. And so now you're looking at something that's even in some minds it's baffling and unreachable. It's untenable, unbaffling, unreachable. That type of thing, is available, and it's quite interesting to see it take place. I must admit, very interesting to see it take place. And not just for me to see it take place, but you then get the general hint, you get the general gist of the public and how overwhelmed they were by the performance. I've never seen anything like it. You know.
Well,
What do you think?
Some time ago, you certainly say that we begin to see a shift from the magician to the illusionist. You know, was it David Blaine? You know, with the card tricks with the string in his stomach and right. Just all of these other bizarre feats, and then there was kind of people after that doing amazing stuff, just like head scratching, baffling, bizarre, freakish in some ways. And then you had it wrapped up with, oh no, they're now deviling in the black arts. This is sorcery. This is actual witchcraft. This is actual voodoo. So it was interesting to see how that all changed. But to current, I haven't seen a magician or anything of that nature for a good while. But I certainly recall, because I used to like the street performance. You know, when YouTube was starting to do its thing, and used to get a lot of people going out in the streets and doing their tricks. You know, they used to go around the pub to the West End and stuff. Right. But like watching some of them. Some of the tricks you kind of knew from you know, magicians leaking their tricks. But some were, and to this day, I have no idea how they do that. Really. But it's that video. Because that's a word that people we don't know nowadays. Movie of, what is it? Woody Harrelson and some others, and they're heist tricksters. You know, can't remember the name of the film now. Now You See Me or something like that.
Now You See Me, yeah.
You know, that's kind of what's at play. You also got to realise with an audience that an audience are specifically going somewhere to be entertained, and they're in a mind space of wanting to see an illusion. So their subconscious is a lot more receptible to not seeing what it could see. You know, if you look at some of the hypnotist shows over the years, I remember one that was amazing, right? It really was, and I saw a couple like this over the years. But there was this one where he put somebody, and you know, asked the person on stage, you know, who stood in front of you. So it's my mate Terry, for all intents and purposes. I can't remember the names, but for the story's sake. Oh, it's my mate Terry. Okay, slip. Does that thing. Right? When you open your eyes, you're not going to be able to see Terry. Right? This, that, and the other. Right? So 1, 2, 3, open your eyes. And then he opens his eyes. He said, hello, Ada. Yeah, I'm sound. Terry stood right in front of him. And this, for all, you know, from what can be seen, he's looking straight through Terry at the guy. He says, is your daughter in the audience? You got some of your family with you, haven't you? He's like, yeah, I have, yeah. And his daughter, where's your daughter? He wants his daughter. He brings his daughter down. Now he stands the daughter behind Terry. Right? And he says, where's your daughter? She stood right in front of me. He says, your daughter's got a watch on. Could she show you what's the time on a watch? And the daughter holds up the watch behind Terry's back, and the bloke tells the time on the watch. So the moment you start to explore what we was talking about earlier on, that analog dial frequency, you see, this is what's going on. If the human eye and the human brain will actually eradicate things that doesn't fit into its comprehension of existence and possibility. These are actually facts. You can study it. Studies have been done into it. That if it doesn't fit, if like people that have gone through traumatic events and everything like that, they can actually block out things, or sometimes when they're going through something, they can actually tune various facets out, so that's not being seen. That's the level of ability and capability that the human brain, consciousness, living life, flesh, man and woman, spirit, whatever you want to call it, has. That you can actually I'll say eradicate. Just you can operate outside of people's perception, aka the invisible man. You know, you're out of flux, you're out of phase, you're oscillating at a frequency range outside of that person's ability to tune in. Going back to the ETs and extraterrestrials, this is what we hear some whistleblowers are saying, that some of these alleged extraterrestrials have the capabilities of doing, tapping into the human psyche and be able to outphase what it is they're seeing so they can project a visible perception of what they want the individual to see, as opposed to what's actually there.
Yeah. That's what I've heard of.
So if
it's
that's
funny when you mention about the magicians, because do you guys remember Dynamo, the guy?
Yeah.
I met him actually on Tottenham Court Road. I met him personally. I took a picture of him with me. Yeah. And it was interesting. I looked at his eyes. Have you guys ever paid attention to his eyes? His blue eyes. Very, very strange looking eyes. But if you look at his eyes, if you take look at one of his pictures and look at his eyes, these eyes, even on his shows, if you look at his eyes, it's something peculiar about his eyes. It was strange for me to just meet him on Tottenham Court Road. I think it was a subway. That's where I was, at a subway. And he entered and I was there.
In what way was it strange?
What do you mean?
Well, did you get a funny feeling, or did he just look weird, or I mean, what was it that made you think that's weird, that's strange?
The weird thing was
it first date
when he left the shop and I went out of the shop, I couldn't see him anymore.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Not just because he'd left the shop.
No, not just because he left the shop and I went out in the street after he left the shop to see where he's going.
Something like that.
This was something peculiar for me, right?
Something like that happened to me today, actually. Like my doorbell rang, and I went to the door, and I looked out, and there was nobody walking down any road, right? That's all, right? Then when I looked in my mirror, this woman that she said, "Oh yeah, we'll have a conversation," right? She was at the door. I could see that. When I looked in the camera thing, I looked back and I said, "Oh yeah, look, yeah, she did turn up." I said, "Well, where did she go?" Like, no, I can't. I looked on the street. I can't see nobody down the street. I can see all the way down the street. Nothing. I can see all the way down both streets. All the way. Nothing. No. I'm like, what?
The interaction with him, actually, personally, he was very nice. He actually spoke with me. I said, "Can we have a?" I'd like to have it because I watch your shows and they're quite good. I think he's the one that walked over the River Thames or something, wasn't it? He was walking on the water or something.
Yeah.
It is something to do with the way they can control a particular area.
Yeah.
Where they perform. There is something to do with that.
Mm.
And when you mentioned with the house, and I actually drove him when I was doing lax, and I also worked on overlax, and I had a job to pick up, and when I pick up, who do you think I pick up? With the house, and what would have been the chance? And had the interaction, one of the nicest person I've met, to be honest, to speak with, very comfortable to speak with. He was a very down to earth person, to be honest. But did I say person? Human being. Anyway, but it's interesting that you guys are bringing all of this, and for me, I start to connect all these dots, and I'm like, what is? Why did I meet all these people?
Mm-hmm.
This is my question.
Mm-hmm. And specific people that you've met.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, what would have been the chances to meet?
Right.
I met Jean-Claude Van Damme in Belgium at a petrol station.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. See, I remember I met, who became a really good friend of mine. I met Ashley Ingram from Imagine, from the band. Huge band, Imagination, in a 7-Eleven. in Los Angeles, in the Valley, with the Nils and I only went to that one because the one I normally went to get my, I'd buy like a $10 phone card, and then it was when I first moved over here, so that I would call my mum just to check on her, see if I make any sense, just let her know I'm alright, you know? So I would do that. I would buy one every week and then give her a shout every weekend and stuff, so she knew. And then on this one occasion I went in, they didn't have what I needed, so then I said, oh fuck, I was with this other girl, I said, like, I gotta run over to the other spot, I'll be back. So I jumped in the car, whizzed over to the closest 7-Eleven, which was just up the road, just kind of thing. Yeah, walked in, and as I walked past this car, I saw a V12 CL600 V12, old school beast sitting there, like proper bad boy beast sitting there. I'm like, what's that? As I walked past, I noticed the V12. I'm like, no. I walked in, and I see this big dude. I said, this other shorter dude. I thought, I know the shorter dude, I recognise. Big dude looked like security at the time, man. I was like, damn, I'm just gonna stay over here and not even bother getting in the way of these guys. I don't know who they are. I think why they look familiar. And then there's me, as I've always been, right? Just walked up, excuse me, mind you know what I mean? You just look familiar. And I'm an English dude there in the Valley, right? And when I heard the English accent come back, I'm like, no, don't tell me now. I'm supposed to know who this person is. Now I can hear the English accent. I'm supposed to know who it is. And I couldn't think of the person at the time. So he told me. But yeah, there's them type of situations where I'm just, I'm like, why did the universe put me there? Why did it put me there? Why was the meeting so pleasant? Why were these things? There's got to be a reason. I've got to see the reason behind it, because it's not just there for nothing.
See, what happened there, right, is the reason being is that was one of the first contacts you had, you see, Yanni, right? Not with the celebrity, because that wasn't important, because that name lost you. Do you know what I mean? It didn't come. But what was remembered was the car. And the thing is, that was like a badass transformer from Galvatron, right? Yeah. And you missed it. You see, going back to that aliens and AI and all the rest of it. Technologically speaking, mate, there's all kind of wonders out there. And let's imagine, right, we as a species at the moment, we're sending little observation robots out into space, little rovers going on planets, having a look around. Right. And we could be, for all intents and purposes, hundreds, if not thousands of years, if not millions of years, potentially behind some of these pre-existing life forms. And they could have proper T-1000 style reconnaissance observation robots. All of a sudden, the past 100 years, we've gone from scratching our ass, not knowing much, to Star Wars and Star Trek communication devices where we can have a video conversation while searching and sending a text and asking another digital wearable device, the meaning of something, all in this moment. And you can give the answer to your friend that's in America, your friend that's in Romania, your friend that's in Brazil, all at the same time within this one space, having a celestial conversation, all within this one space. And who is to say that isn't some superlogical, technological, advanced AI already observing human beings here on Earth?
You know why idea came up right now is the fact that what if
I was just about to close up the show.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. Go on.
Let's just put this out. What if we are what other people watch on TV, but the aliens are watching us like we are the programs that they're looking at, like this entertainment kind of TV.
What's that TV show where they watch TV? What's that one? Telly Addict or whatever it is, I can't remember what it's called. What they call it? Gogglebox, right? So that's a TV show about people watching TV shows. Right? I heard a comedian do this one, and so I'm not going to claim it's mine, but I thought it was bob on. Right? He said, imagine the state of the world that we're in now. Right? That you, maybe a college graduate, you went through years of study in movie making, script writing, and camera work, and you produced a documentary that took you 5 years to do. You put your mortgage on the line a few times to get this project done. And it finally gets aired on TV. And it's your best ever work, your life's work. And it gets beaten in the TV awards by people watching your program.
Can't even make
That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
That's a good way to end the show.
But that being said, you beautiful people, we well past that 2-hour mark. I hope you enjoyed yourself. It's been an absolute pleasure. I can't speak on behalf of the Right Honourable Iani or the Right Honourable Marius, but in this instance, it was certainly a pleasure from me. So that's it from me for another week at the House of Lords. I shall hand the mic over to our Right Honourable gentleman.
Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I want to say thank you to all the listeners, and thank you to my wonderful brother Carl and my wonderful brother Iani for spending their time with me. So honestly, I appreciate it more than you guys realize. Because even through these podcasts that we are doing for others to listen and maybe learn something from it. At the same time, I learn from you guys.
Look
Thank
into
you.
my eye, you will see
I meant that you.
what you mean.
He knows how to do it. Over to you, Ian.
Right on, yeah. Awesome, absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen. It's always I'm honoured to share the space with you, gentlemen, to be able to travel on this exploration, this continued discovery of the more efficient, the better us. It's always a learning experience, one that I actually value and treasure, and I gain from. So I feel sometimes, hopefully the time, I too am leaving something that you guys can learn from. That's actually positive. And it's good to be part of this team. Yes, we have gone over our long time, but that's okay. You know, sometimes we just do that. You know, sometimes that's what it is. And we just want to thank you very much for being with us, for being part of this journey, for being patient. Again, don't forget, subscribe, like, all those wonderful things, and get in touch with us. The email address is as follows: The House of Lords 3. That's the number 3 at gmail.com. Again, that's The House of Lords 3 at gmail.com. And we look forward to hearing your questions. We look forward to any comments, any suggestions and recommendations. Ian, I love you so, and I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love the minute you walk out that door. Please don't go. You're so shit.
Love a light like God.
Right, hang on, look, before we've gone past it, right? I'm going to have to, I know that would sound like a cold stop, didn't it, right? Just like a hard stop, right? We was meant to do an hour and 20 minutes, right? Then we're doing 2 hours, and I look up, and we're nearly quarter past the 2 hour mark, right? So I thought, because, right, this is a disclaimer for everybody. We can't have a 5-minute chat on a telephone. All three of us here, we can't have a 5-minute chat on the phone. We'll ring up and we just have a simple question. Right, what's the subject? This. Okay, no worries. I'll speak to you tomorrow. No, that ain't going to happen. Right? 5-minute conversation will last an hour and a half. Standard. Standard. So there's got to be a stop, right? Right. I'll see you next week. We love you.
He left us.